Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at 28263 Southwest Wagner Street here in Wilsonville. Located at the front of the house, I describe everything as if you are standing in the street facing the front of the home. We are to the right of the front doorway. Good landmark here should you lose track of the cleanout. It sits absolutely directly in front of the foundation vent here, just to the right of the front doorway. And even more so in front of the right side vent there. We've got a 3-inch ABS cleanout as our point of access. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is a running, and we're going to zero out the foot counter at the base of the cleanout. The little stringy things there coming off that joint, those are just glue drips there, in case you're wondering what that is. Not a root intrusion. Camera's upside down right now if you're wondering why the water's flying overhead like that. Very nice looking sewer line so far. The only thing I could even nitpick about the line, there is just a ever so slightest amount of grease film in the flow line. Very minor as it sits right now. Not at a point where I'd recommend cleaning on it. I mostly pointed out for educational purposes, especially if you're new to home ownership. Keeping cooking oil and your fats in general out of the kitchen sink drain is a very good habit to have, especially if you have little kids that are prone to balling up toilet paper. Just swapped over to 4-inch 3034 PVC pipe. And relative to most homes, this is actually quite a clean sewer line. All right, a little bit of standing water we're going through here. We are quite a distance from the home. We will see how that drains out at the end, but unless there's something broken or busted there, that's not a belly I will recommend or fix on. It's too small and way too far from the home. And there's the main lateral connection there at about 78 feet. We're going to go locate really quick here while the pipe drains off, and we'll get a better look at everything as we come back in here. All right, located the camera head successfully. Line terminates out on Southwest Wagner Street. As you face the house from the road, the line pops out just to the right of the doorway. As it makes its way out to the road, it jaunts under the driveway. And where I pick that locate up out in the street and look back at the house, I'm looking pretty much right up the middle of the driveway. So it runs approximately down the middle of the driveway once it gets there. And still just a tiny little bit of water trickling to the line there. Come back here and take a look at this belly. And honestly, what grease is left over here after my camera goes through and busts through that stuff, come back a week from now and a good portion of it will slough off on its own. So the belly here dissipates off just beyond where we're at right now. We're at around 67 and a half, maybe 68 feet. Very, very minor so far here. Teeny little thing. Can hardly call that a belly. So from approximately, we're at almost 65 feet by the time you hit the start of the belly. It's only from about 65 to 68 feet. At its worst, you might have a 1/4 inch of water there. That is light years and galaxies away from repair worthy there. Something that small. And for reference, I don't even consider repairs on bellies, especially in plastic pipe, till you have at least an inch of standing water that's static with no water running at all for a minimum of 5 feet. Even at that point in a plastic sewer line, you are you are beating your line to pieces if you can get a belly that's a 5 foot long section with an inch of water to back up on you. Highly, highly unlikely that would ever occur under proper usage with a belly that size. What you have here has almost no bearing on functionality at all, and especially at that distance. Generally, most of the bellies these days, I've done almost 25,000 sewer scopes at this point in my career, and a lot of drain cleaning, and part of a lot of repairs. And bellies and plastic pipe, in general, rarely lead to issues unless they are very close into the home and quite significant. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and reel the camera on out of the line here. We have good flow all the way out to the main lateral connection. Both the ABS and PVC portions of the line here are in good condition, have good flow and are functioning properly at this time. And I'll notate that belly on the report, but that thing is a long ways away from being something to be concerned about. Anyway, as a rule of thumb, I try to tell most people, especially if you're new to homeownership as it relates to grease buildup, it's about the only habit you can have that helps your line along. If you have enough grease or oil on your pans, when the pans are hot, if you turn the pan sideways and there's enough on there that it runs off the pan, is at that point you want to do something about it. Either pour it into a glass jar, metal can, while it's still liquid, or let it cool down and wipe it out with a paper towel, or put it into or scrape it off into a garbage can. Thin little coating of Pam spray, hot water and soap handles that just fine. It's when you're putting real quantity down the line that it gets you. That really helps to mitigate a lot of blockage problems, especially when lines are abused or kids are balling up toilet paper, stuff like that.